Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
And we begin tonight with a church youth leader in Macomb County charged with child sex crimes.
Luis Mendoza facing several charges, being held right now on $250,000 bond, no 10%.
The charges come after parents came forward saying their child had been assaulted and groomed by him. Mendoza
serves as a youth leader at Stony Church on 26 Mile Road in Washington Township. Victor Williams live on this story off the top here at 5. Victor, some very serious charges here.
Yeah, Devin and Kimberly, that's because the victim is only a 15-year-old little girl, and it's unclear if she was actually a member at that church. Either way, the Macomb County Sheriff's Department, they wasted no time making that arrest.
It's terrible. I think it's scary that you can't even trust somebody that works in the church.
29-year-old youth leader at Stony Church, Luis Mendoza, was arrested by the Macomb County Sheriff's Office for allegedly engaging in sexual acts with a minor.
It is very sad that it happened, and it shouldn't happen, especially today.
The allegations stem from an incident on September the 6th when parents allegedly found out about the inappropriate relationship and called the Sheriff's Department. The parents also alleged that Mendoza had been giving the minor marijuana on top of that. After multiple search warrants and interviews, the Detective Bureau with the Sheriff's Department determined that he had been grooming the victim for quite some time prior to the crime.
That's the problem nowadays. People in trusted positions don't do what they're supposed to do. It's wrong for our society.
Mendoza is now being charged with third-degree and fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct, along with contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
I don't know how anybody can even do that and say they are a man of God. It makes me want to go and talk to this person and ask, what happened to you?
Now, bond was set at $250,000, and if this man is able to make that, he's going to have to wear a GPS tether. He's also not allowed to be around anyone under the age of 18. He's due back in court on the 27th. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Yeah. All right, Victor. The UAW's tentative contract seems to have hit the skids a bit with the rank-and-file workers at least one of the big three.
That news comes after one of GM's largest plants voted down that new contract. Business editor Rod Maloney is live in the newsroom with a look at the big picture here. And Rod, they've had these tentative deals for what now, 2 weeks?
That's right. And Ford and Stellantis, their votes are coming down rather strongly for ratification. It's at General Motors where they're sweating this one out. Now, it seems a lot more of the senior UAW members in the larger locals are not so sure the contract takes very good care of them. As the votes roll in on the second to last day, we're seeing the larger locals giving the UAW GM tentative national contract a resounding thumbs down. Flint Truck said no last week, followed this week by Fort Wayne Assembly, Wentzville Assembly, and Lansing Delta Township, along with Lansing Grand River. Many high seniority members saying the contract is too heavily weighted toward the lower tiered and temporary union members and doesn't do enough for them when it comes to inflation. There are larger locals saying yes, however, two right here in Metro Detroit, Lake Orion Assembly, Factory Zero and Hamtramck, and the biggest of them all, Arlington Assembly in Texas. UAW leadership has warned against this kind of dissension. UAW Stellantis Vice President Rich Boyer saying in a recent social media post,
I can't tell you how to vote, and I will not. But understand, if things go and you choose to turn down, go away, that'll put us back at the bargaining table. And always remember, once you go back to the bargaining table, all the gains we've gained, we could possibly lose because nothing's that's in stone.
Wayne State University business professor Dr. Merrick Masters told Local 4 today this outcome is no surprise.
It's unreasonable to expect that union members will be unanimous in their approval. There are always differences of opinion. They relate to any number of different factors.
UAW President Shawn Fain also told membership that they wrung every last dollar out of the companies and going back might cost them. So we should find out about this time tomorrow whether GM gets its ratification. I'm told that Ford will have a final vote count on Saturday. Stellantis will come no later than next Tuesday. Back to you.
Okay. Rod, is there any indication how close it is at GM?
It's looking like a few hundred votes. It also looks like they may get ratification, but again, we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow night.
We know you'll keep following it. Okay, Rod, thank you. A Roseville woman died this morning after the car she was driving collided head-on with a pickup truck.
About 7:50 a.m., a 60-year-old man was driving a pickup southbound on Rochester Road when the truck crossed into the northbound lane and collided head-on with a Saturn Vue driven by 33-year-old Tara Baldwin. The Saturn then collided with a Jeep driven by a 65-year-old woman. Baldwin was taken to a nearby hospital where she died from her injuries. The other two drivers still in the hospital, though both in stable condition.
The Israeli military today released videos it said showed troops delivering medical aid to Al-Shifa Hospital in Gaza City. The chief spokesperson for the IDF, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, said the aid was delivered at the entrance to the hospital and consisted of baby food and medical aid. According to the IDF, incubators were also delivered. He couldn't confirm if the aid was taken by hospital staff.
Detroit Fire Department is investigating a house fire that happened early this morning on Manor Street near Chalfont. Sky 4 over the scene as crews work to put out the fire. You see the flames here spewing out of the roof of the house. Detroit Fire Chief James Harris says the cause of the fire is under investigation still at this hour.
It is an ambitious plan to build solar arrays on blighted and vacant land in the city of Detroit.
And today, 9 neighborhoods were chosen as finalists for the program. Let's get out to Pamela Osborne live tonight. This does involve a lot more than just solar panels, Pamela.
It certainly does. And you know, when those solar panels are finally put together and installed, they're going to power buildings like City Hall here, not residential homes. But homeowners who live nearby, they will benefit, getting as much as $25,000 to make their own homes more energy efficient.
This is a great opportunity for our neighborhood.
Keith Kelsey's Mount Olivet neighborhood is being considered for one of the city's 6 future solar panel fields. About 10 years ago, he says there was a fire which devastated the block, burning vacant homes, leaving a lot of blight behind.
I used to watch the news conferences all around the city and see these other neighborhoods getting new houses, renovations and development. And I said, well, when is our time going to come, you know? And I think our time has come now with this solar panel initiative.
Once installed, the solar panels would power 127 city buildings, including City Hall, police and fire departments, as well as rec centers. There are benefits for residents, too. Neighbors located in the footprint of solar fields would get anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000 to make their own homes more efficient. The money could be used for new windows, roof repairs, appliances, and more. There is a catch. In order to install the solar fields, the city has to condemn the immediate area.
We've already started making offers. We do a minimum offer of $90,000. We will offer you double what the fair market value of your house is.
Mayor Mike Duggan says they're focusing on areas with the least amount of impact.
Well, if somebody says, I don't want to move, we may be able to move the fence line so they don't have to.
State Fair, Trinity, the Houston, Whittier neighborhoods are all among those in contention for this project. I should mention residents, they have until January 31st to submit their feedback to the city. And the city, once all of this is done, they are also going to see some federal tax breaks as a result of this project. For now, reporting live outside of City Hall, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Really exciting. Okay, Pamela, thank you.
We've reached that time of the year when the sunset on the Detroit skyline times out great with our first check of weather. It's beautiful this time of day, isn't it?
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
And the sunset isn't too shabby over at Metro Airport either. Beautiful evening as folks there gear up for one of the busiest weeks of the year with Thanksgiving.
Really enjoying this very mild stretch we've had. If that could last another
I know,
week,
because you really just can't beat this the week before Thanksgiving, unfortunately. It couldn't be Thanksgiving week, Kim.
No, I know. We're not going to hang on to this weather for much longer. We only have about 24 more hours to be in the 60s, and then that's going to be it for quite some time. 60 downtown, 56 out at the airport, 61 in Pontiac, it's 57 in Mount Clemens, and 57 down in Monroe. It is warmer than it was yesterday by 13 degrees in Mount Clemens, 11 in Pontiac, 10 degrees warmer right now in Monroe than it was at the same time yesterday, and 9 degrees warmer down at City Airport. Tomorrow, the last day, we're in the 60s, 61 degrees with a lot of sunshine. It will be beautiful. A little windy, though. In the afternoon, you'll notice those winds picking up. And then Friday, we have a little rain moving in. We'll still stay in the 50s, but then we drop down into the 40s, and that cool weather extends all the way through Thanksgiving week. We'll talk more about that coming up.